WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly,
the longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow, you know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore. There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Lucas.
I know. It's so crazy to be back here on WBCB. I'm so glad to be back. Feeling a little bit under the weather, but
That's because you've been working yourself to the bone.
yeah, I know, right? This is
With all of the, as I've called them on the air, the occupational obligations that you've had.
yes, indeed. It's just good to be back here for once.
It is. Even on this abbreviated edition, we'll be on for 45 minutes today as we've got Comwell Egan Catholic High School football. Yes, a WWE Hall of Famer is now the president-elect of the United States. Donald Trump, the same person who took an awful stunner at WrestleMania 23 from Stone Cold Steve Austin. The same man whose building has hosted not one but two WrestleManias.
Both of them sort of
We'll save that debate for another day. But yes, Donald J. Trump, the president-elect of the United States. Who'da thunk it?
definitely not me.
We're going to have to disclaimer the out of this.
Oh, right off the bat. I like it. Well, yeah, I guess congratulations to I mean President Trump for that one on that matter of fact, I guess.
So, yes, as you could hear by the bleeping, we are not, I know I'm breaking the fourth wall. Hey, Cole Cabana, how you doing? Lucas and I not here as we are down, surprise, surprise, at the MFPW Arena, gearing up for the huge event later tonight, and currently, as you're listening to this, attending the seminar by Delirious.
I'm assuming
Ring of Honor's Delirious.
Yeah, I was going to say, hopefully, I'm assuming we'll have Colt Cabana translating for him, because I don't think Delirious speaks English. It's just a lot of and grunting and all of that.
And somehow he's an effective communicator.
Yeah, it's weird.
So that's where we'll be at, and then, of course, tonight, the huge Turkey Slam event.
Oh, that is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, and I know that yes, they're a sponsor and we're affiliated with them, and I know that I tend to beat the drum for them quite a bit. But as far as the events that we've done, this probably has to be
the biggest one yet.
Yeah, and this isn't some Tony Schiavone greatest night in the history of our sports hyperbole here.
But this is like our WrestleMania for the time being. Hopefully we can make some more big events, but this is the big one, as the Red Fox would say. Elizabeth.
Oh goodness. But it all goes down tonight, 541 Mantua Avenue, Paulsboro, New Jersey. You'll see the 5th annual Turkey Slam Rumble to determine the number one contender for the MFPW Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah. Punisher Martinez has just left a trail of bodies in his wake as the only 3-time heavyweight champion of the MFPW after beating Abyss a couple of months ago.
Yeah, he's punished so much that he's changed his name to Damian Martinez.
Yes,
and of course you can see him on Ring of Honor as well. So
along with B.J. Whitmer and the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan.
But we'll get more into him in a moment. So, yes, the 5th annual Turkey Slam Rumble plus Supersonic champion LSG defends against Mikey Webb, this time in a 60-minute Iron Man match.
Yeah, that's gonna be fantastic. Oh.
It most certainly is. These two guys, they will pull out all the stops. And, I mean, it'll be just the fact that they can go for 60 minutes is something you generally don't see anymore.
Yeah, really, it's something that it's almost like old school is the new school, you know? Just to give you guys a perspective of how big Turkey Slam is, I was working concessions last year around this time when the event happened, and we sold out not even before, like halfway through before intermission. That was how packed this. We had about 400.
Sold out of all the concessions. The food was all gone.
Well, the food, yes, and the waters, yes. We were just down to Pepsi.
Wow.
Yeah,
and it
that's,
wasn't because of you scouring them in the back there, right?
No, I never drink the product when I'm working.
Normally I'd come up with a snarky remark, but
it's best that you don't.
Yeah, I'm not going to this time. Also, the tag team champions, the Money in the Miles, defending against former champions Paid in Full, plus an 8-man tag team elimination match, because it's November. You know, you see those every once in a while. As team the MFPW of Anthony Bennett, the Freak Beast Nick Camarado, the MF Live champion Cody Vance, and a returning Clutch Adams.
Let's go.
Square off with Ring of Honor's Will Ferreira, Rhett Titus, Cheeseburger, and Delirious.
Ooh, now this is going to be nice.
Plus, the MFPW heavyweight champion Damian Martinez, we mentioned him moments ago, will defend the title against a mystery opponent.
Ooh, who could it be?
It's a secret to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
That one's for John from Northeast Philly. I'm sure he'll have fun with that. It all goes down tonight at the MFPW Arena, 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey. And why can't I get the ch in there? Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey. Doors open at 6. The action starts at 7. Check out the MFPW and all things Monster Factory on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Plus at monsterfactory.org, and check out past matches, bios, bloopers, and more at the mfnetwork.com. So it's been a little bit. I have to admit that, we effed up.
Really?
Yeah, we did.
We effed up.
Well, there was this little pay-per-view that happened a couple weeks ago, Hell in a Cell, and we were supposed to do our predictions starting to go wrong, and we were so honed in on the MF Super Camp that we both oopsed it and forgot about it.
Oh, of course we did, didn't we? Well,
in fairness, around the time that I would have been putting a lot of that together, I was actually in the hospital. Not for myself.
Oh yeah,
no, don't worry.
Yourself.
Yeah, let me.
He's fine, everyone.
I wouldn't go that far.
He wasn't admitted.
Nor was I committed. Although some would argue I probably should be. Yeah, you're biting your tongue.
I plead the fifth.
You are pleading the fifth on that.
F-I-F, fifth.
Well,
in my defense.
Careful now. But no, I was tending to an attendant of the camp who had an injury that had to be dealt with. He is fine, but since I was on the injured reserve anyway, I was the one who drove him over to the medical center and stayed with him. So my mind was obviously a bit distracted and hadn't quite come out of it by the time the event had occurred. And you're rolling your eyes.
I'm not rolling my eyes.
Or was that just one of your? Was that a tick?
That was a tick.
Okay, I'm skeptically accepting that.
You're a bit skeptic. I can understand that, but it was in fact a tick.
Oh goodness, I see what you did there.
You're darn too right, I did.
We'll rebound nicely for Survivor Series, as the stakes are still extremely close. You and I just one pick apart.
Oh,
yeah,
goodness.
I'm 58 and 36 for the
heavens.
year. You're 57 and 37. Cue the Jim Foxwell drop.
Hey, you get back here.
Man, we are just walking that tightrope line today. So, yeah, a couple of, actually, a trifecta of Survivor Series matches, as well as Dolph Ziggler defending the Intercontinental title against Sami Zayn. And then, of course, you've got Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, the trifecta of Survivor Series matches, Team Raw against Team SmackDown. You've got the men going at it in a singles match, a 5-on-5 elimination style. Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Seth Rollins. So 2/3 of the Shield reuniting, but I don't think it feels so good.
No, it does not.
And against Team SmackDown with the other former member of the Shield, Dean Ambrose, your boy.
My boy.
as well as AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, and
Shane O'Mac himself. Shane McMahon announced on SmackDown he will be competing in the Survivor Series match.
also for the ladies. Team Raw of Charlotte, Nia Jax, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Alicia Fox taking on SmackDown's Nikki Bella, Becky Lynch, Alexa
Bliss,
Carmella, and Naomi. And finally, something that hasn't really been seen since it was acceptable in the 80s.
Yeah.
5-on-5 tag teams. Yes, that's right. So the New Day, Enzo and Cass, Anderson and Gallows, Sheamus and Cesaro, and the Shining Stars, all representing Raw, against Heath Slater and Rhino, the Hype Bros,
What?
Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley, American Alpha.
What?
Really?
No, not really. I apologize. I just figured I wanted to see how many times you would interject.
That would be Chad Gable and Jason Jordan, as well as the Usos and Breezango in a 10-on-10 Survivor Series match. 20 men all around that ring apron, or at least 18 of them, as 2 will be in the ring at that particular point.
Yeah, that's going to be crowded.
It is. Have you seen some of those old Survivor Series matches with the 10-on-10?
Oh yeah, they were doing a marathon of them on the network.
Oh,
that
nice.
that looked like a cluster. If you haven't ever seen one.
It most certainly has. Almost like the cluster that is this show. But we're already well into things here, so we're going to take care of our first of 2 timeouts as we're going to 12:45. We've got high school football action, and back reunited, and it feels so good. Lucas DeSangro and Fearon Derry. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Eagles fans join Paul Jolovitz, Tom Cardella, and a different Eagles guest each week for the Independence Blue Cross Monday Night Kickoff. We'll be broadcasting live from Dave & Buster's in the Franklin Mills Mall every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. Paul and Tom will break down the last game and preview the upcoming contest with a different Eagles guest weekly. The Independence Blue Cross Monday Night Kickoff, live from Dave & Buster's in the Franklin Mills Mall. Can't get to the show? Watch it live at WBCB1490.com.
Being there matters, and your Navy protects and defends America on the world's oceans. Around the globe, around the clock, Navy ships, submarines, aircraft, and most importantly, tens of thousands of America's finest young men and women are ready to defend America. When piracy threatens global commerce, when disaster strikes, or when called upon by the Commander-in-Chief, your Navy is there. When it comes to protecting and defending America, being there matters, and America's Navy is already there.
See, I just got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so he might have to...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
You're breaking kayfabe.
Breaking cape. I'm gonna break something else during this commercial.
There we go.
All
That's
right.
what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Yo.
Back in the house after a couple months, it feels like.
Yeah, it's got to be at least. The good news is for at least for the winter, I'm going to be able to come in for Saturdays just because the hours are we're entering a dead season in the hotel business, and me acting like I'm an executive. I wash dishes, but it's just.
Hey, we all start somewhere.
Oh yeah, I know, right? It's been a very. I just don't want to talk about that for just a couple seconds. You've
Wait,
seen.
why are you sitting Indian style?
Let me tell you a personal story about. No.
Careful now.
No. The thing is, you see a lot of. You'd think wrestling is where you have your most surreal moments, right? No, working in a hotel kitchen in the breakfast shift is really just. There was a woman who came down to breakfast. She was part of a wedding party, so she was probably feeling the effects of last night. We have 2 waffle irons, great products. I suggest you all get them if you can afford them. We have also 2 dispensers that have waffle batter, and this woman poured the waffle batter into a Dixie cup, poured it into the waffle iron, as is the process.
Like you do.
Yeah. And she takes the waffle out, and she goes to the same waffle batter thing, and she starts pouring batter all over the waffle.
And I'm watching this at this point, and she knows what she did. And it would have just been great to be like, hey, I'm sorry, we would have understood. You're hungover, your brain's not processing everything, that's fine. But instead she goes, oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was butter. No, you didn't. Don't you? That's a country crock of crap right there, and you know it. All right, the margarine for error. Yes, I'm making butter puns. That's how close I am to losing my ish. The margarine for error was very slim, and you still managed to mess it up anyway. She put
that hurts my sinuses. Just
mine are already hurt. She puts the. I just want to step by step. She did the waffle batter. She the same container, and she's looking around, and she looks at the same container and goes, "I bet you there's butter in there." No, there's not. I can't believe there's not butter. I can. It's in the same container. I don't know what your problem was, and I'm sorry, rant over. I've been holding that in for a couple months, because I haven't been able to tell Fearon, and it just hurt my soul a little bit.
We'll be back with the third segment of Pro Wrestling Weekly right after. No, that rant wasn't that long.
There is a cool thing though. Is you meet a lot. There are a lot of people that are wrestling fans. There are a lot of closeted wrestling fans that once college hits, not even in school but also in the hotel. Like there was a wedding party that was wrestling themed, and apparently at the groom gave all of his best men NWO T-shirts, which I thought was great, and the
You so wanted to crash that wedding party, didn't you?
I didn't even know about it. This was the night after, or the morning after. I apologize.
Thank you, Maureen McGovern. That joke is for the chart toppers folks out there, and nobody else is going to get it. Maybe Ted Efall will get it, and he's probably laughing along as he listens to this.
Yeah. The mom actually came in and asked to wrap up a cake that was wrestling ring shaped, which was pretty cool. But apparently their dance, the bride and groom's dance, was Nature Boy Ric Flair's theme. Sprach Zarathustra, I believe.
Also Sprach Zarathustra,
yeah.
The Ric Flair theme.
Woo! We all know this song. But that's the cool thing. Anyway, back to the news and notes.
Oh,
you can have your show back, Fearon. I apologize for hijacking.
Well, you're making up for 2 months of absence. You're just trying to
get my shtick in.
Getting it in as much as you can.
Hoyo.
Well, before we do that, as I try to reel things back in here, let me tell you about the appearances galore at George's Cards and Collectibles, starting right now, in fact, where former WWE superstar Snitsky will appear at George's in the Neshaminy Mall up until 2 o'clock this afternoon. Also, Eagles kicker Caleb Sturgis for the football fans out there. He will appear at George's today from 1 until 2 o'clock at the Neshaminy location. Plus, Sunday, November 20th, 1 week from tomorrow, the first public appearance of Flyers center and right winger Travis Konechny. Easy for me to say.
I wouldn't have been able to pronounce it either if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, Travis Konechny will be at George's in the Neshaminy Mall. And finally, on Saturday, December 10th, from 2 to 4 p.m., former WWE and TNA star Mr. Kennedy, or Anderson.
Kennedy, or Anderson.
Oh, how did I know you were going to do that?
He has a boy asylum in terms of OSW. He's one of my boys.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that aren't aware, the rules for being a boy is you can tangle in the main event a little bit, but you can never hold a major title. I think those are the rules.
I think so. Yeah. So Dean Ambrose technically wouldn't be a boy.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
But actually no. That's pretty much. Yeah.
I know. We're just completely stealing their bit, and at the same time, we're giving them the pub and love.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these days we'll be able to do an interview with them.
But when's the next?
I was going to say, that's Saturday, December 10th is when Ken Kennedy / Anderson will be at George's in the Neshaminy Mall. And don't forget that George's has 3 locations for all of your cards and collectible needs, including their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Levittown, in the Willow Grove Park Mall on the 2nd level near Macy's in Tivana, and in the Neshaminy Mall in the Movie Theater Wing.
Yeah.
So check out George's Cards and Collectibles online at georgescollectibles.com, as well as on Facebook at George's Cards and Collectibles.
Indeed.
Here you go again with the whole Funaki thing.
I love Funaki. He's another one of my boys.
He certainly is. He is number one.
Indeed.
All right, let's get into some news and notes. I know we've been catching up here and talking about a bunch of different things. So, as I'm sure you know from last week and hearing about it, the Hulkster lawsuit is finally settled.
It's over!
So, because of that, the rumors and speculation have been abound.
Oh, I covered it last week on my show.
Okay, we'll get into that in a second.
We
so I'll
don't
give you the chance to. Oh, you
no,
don't,
I don't
want to
plug
it yet. Okay.
No, not yet. Considering it's just a one-man broadcast thing, until I get all the kinks out, I'm not advertising it for Jack.
What about the rest of the people not named Jack?
They can't have it either.
They can't have it either?
No.
All right.
Nobody.
Okay. Well, Brooke Hogan, she told TMZ that her father, Hulk Hogan, is getting calls about returning at WrestleMania 33.
Yeah.
Let the speculation begin for Orlando, brother. She said to the TMZ videographer, quote, "I'll just say I know that people have been calling him for WrestleMania." She said that before leaving the undisclosed scene. So stay tuned. We might be seeing the yellow and red and hearing Real American come to Orlando this coming April.
But just to make an appearance, though, like, I don't understand. Is he gonna, when The Rock comes back for WrestleMania, people at least speculate, oh, is he gonna have a match? But when Hogan comes back, it's just gonna be to talk and pose in the ring for a couple of minutes.
Well, what do you think the last 15 years of his career has been?
Yeah, I know, but to say why, it's like, oh, Hulk Hogan's. Why is it such a big thing? If he makes an appearance, he makes an appearance. I mean, yeah, it's Hulk Hogan, but he's.
Well, it's the fact that he was persona non grata.
Oh, yeah,
mean,
true.
It would be one of the bigger surprises of anybody alive coming back.
True, but do you think they would pop? Like how, or do you think it would be more of like a big pop, or would it be more of like a shocked silence? Like, oh wow, Hogan, damn.
I think, given that it's WrestleMania, I mean, people, there's that nostalgia factor.
Yeah. There's it. Plus, it is Hogan. It's Hogan lives nearby, so Tampa. Hogan's Beach Shop.
Yeah, it's a couple hours away.
Yeah.
Tampa is a very nice area, though. Since WWE's over in Europe, yeah, I know. Not that this is necessarily the plane ride from hell, because that's a whole nother.
Oh, I just want to have an entire episode covering that. If we can just find somebody that, if we can get Jim Ross back on the program and have him talk about that entire experience.
I think he's trying to go with the less said about it, the better. I mean, he talked about it on his one-man show.
Yeah, but I think
but no, it does make for a hell of a story.
It is.
Right.
It was. My favorite part of that story was it's the Nate. That's the best. I'll just leave it at that.
Because if we try to explain it, we won't do nearly the justice that.
No, not really.
That JR does with it, but. Yes, with WWE being over in Europe, Ross actually mentioning in this case that caught up with Chris Jericho Monday morning to check in regarding the reports of a fight that Y2J had at a WWE event in the UK with Sin Cara.
Face, apply palm to forehead.
Yeah, but what if he has no face?
Smart ass.
Chris said it was largely about nothing and that it resembled more of a scuffle than a full-fledged fight. Sin Cara threw one punch and then the minor melee was broken up. Tensions oftentimes rise on these extended international tours, which can bring out the worst in people. This scrap apparently occurred on the bus en route to Glasgow.
So that's quite appropriate. That's how they greet people over in Scotland, just a punch right in the face.
At the end of the day, it was seemingly much to do about not that much on a slow news day online.
And then Jim Ross commenting,
Bill Watts would have made the two fight to get the angst out of their systems. Cowboy did just that with Butch Reed and John Nord.
It would have been great to have this have been brought to Wrestlers Court. Oh, that would have been hilarious.
I can only imagine. And also, Ross talking about what others have talked about with the Hogan thing, and I think he thinks kind of like what you do. Why do so many people seemingly question the logic of WWE in perhaps bringing Hulk Hogan back for a WrestleMania 33 Orlando appearance? Seems like good marketing to me and something that I'd concur with without any reservations. Hogan's an icon, the Babe Ruth of his era, and would appeal to many fans who will engage the April 2nd, 2017 event. I think that it would be fun for many fans to see the red and yellow front and center at WrestleMania because, after all, he did have a significant hand in helping build the brand that changed the business.
True, and it's really the character and the man very separate. As much as that was put into shenanigans during that trial, he's got a point. The character is much different from Terry Bollea, the person, and that's that. Personally, I wouldn't have at this. I had a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction when this whole case broke, but now I really don't really have any reservations about it. I wouldn't mind. I think it'd be pretty cool. I mean, I quite actually like the song "Real American." It's a catchy tune.
Well, we're going to, I have nothing clever to say to segue out of that. It was worth a shot, but I was like, well, we can catch a break here. No, that was terrible, so I just let it roll. So we're going to take care of our second time out here because we are rapidly approaching the end of the program as we've got high school football coming up at 12:45, Comwell-Egan Catholic High School Football Action Yo. So we'll take our second time out, come back with some more news and notes. Your favorite, the birthdays are back, and boy, we got a slew of them.
Ooh,
That's
a plethora of birthdays.
A plethora, as Lex Luger once said back in his... No, this was pre-Narcissus days. That's right. That was the WrestleMania 8 days.
I don't know. This damn T-shirt's too tight.
All right. Well, while Lucas tries to loosen up in more ways than one, we'll be back here on Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
All commentators heard on WBCB express their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
What's your stuff worth? If you're curious about what your antiques, collectibles, and general household contents are worth and don't want to spend a fortune to find out, call Mike Ivanovich for a house contents appraisal. For $195, Mike will travel to your home, verbally appraise your items, and recommend how and where you could sell for the most money possible. The typical house contents appraisal will typically take 1.5 to 2 hours. To schedule your house contents appraisal, call Mike today at 215-345-6094. Visit www.michaelivanovich.appraisals.com. To learn more, that's MichaelIvanovich appraisals.com. 215-345-6094.
Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, November 12. On this date in 2001, WWF Monday Night Raw aired live from Boston, Massachusetts. In the main event, The Rock defeated William Regal by submission. On this date in 2003, the NWA TNA held its weekly pay-per-view number 69. In the main event, AJ Styles and Sting defeated Jeff Jarrett and Lex Luger in a tag team match. On this date in 2007, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from Topeka, Kansas. In the main event, Triple H defeated Umaga by disqualification. On this date in 2012, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from Columbus, Ohio. In the main event, John Cena pinned CM Punk. This has been Today in Wrestling History, November 12.
You are listening to Pro Wrestling Weekly with Fearon Dairy.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Dairy and Lucas DeSangro here, and we are just about to take it home. That's right, high school football coming up in just a few minutes here on 1490 WBCB, but it's about that time where I got to tell you, November is a month of change, at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. New for the month of November, the Bee Gobbler. That's right, a delish take on a local favorite.
Well, what in the world do we have here? That's my best Mean Gene impression.
Well, what we have is the Bee Gobbler. It's fresh cranberry, Cooper sharp cheese, hot stuffing, and oven-roasted sliced turkey breast and gravy served on a 6-inch sub roll. Wet, messy, and great with beer, just like Bubba. I was going to say, did that take a little bit for you to sink in there, or were you trying to no-sell it?
A little bit, but I just couldn't. It was too funny. I can't. I can't do it like you can. I can't.
Also, speaking of Bubba, just last night was the bottle release of Bubba's Sour Tea Bag. Twin sour ales aged 9 months in wine barrels with fruit added. There's still some left. Which will you choose? Grapefruit? Strawberry? How about one of each? Or if you're me, how about more than one of each? Plus, on Wednesday, November 23rd, a new Thanksgiving Eve tradition, wrestling fans. No, they're not moving Survivor Series back to Thanksgiving Eve. Thanks for the Laughs 2, comedy at the Broken Goblet with comedians Jim Florentine and Don Jameson. And finally, Black Friday brings BGOB 2.0, an entirely new menu, new hours, revamped tap room, and the introduction to mixed drinks. Just a few of the reasons why it's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. So a couple more tidbits to get into. So this coming Tuesday should be very interesting with Smackdown up in Wilkes-Barre, as it's already been announced that The Undertaker is going to be there. But now, too, according to Shane McMahon, he has said that Edge will be returning. It'll be getting a little edgier, as he tweeted out.
Yeah.
As Edge will be returning for the 900th edition of Smackdown, which will take place this coming Tuesday, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, at the Mohegan Sun Arena. Edge will be hosting the Cutting Edge talk show.
Wouldn't it be great if Undertaker ended up showing up just to a little paying homage to their 2008 feud that I thought was great, fantastic. The reason I started watching SmackDown to begin with. Fantasy booking, yes.
I would expect nothing less from you.
That's correct.
Although I don't know if any fantasy person would have booked this, but we're getting it anyway. WWE announcing that the SmackDown Live television show now has a, not one, not two, not three, but four-man broadcast team.
Woo!
Yeah. Again, cue the Jim Foxwell 4 drop.
I'm really happy about it, too. I love Tom Phillips.
Yeah, Tom Phillips will be joining the team of Mauro Ranallo, JBL, and David Otunga. Now, as a broadcaster, I know that a three-man booth is already very crowded and is a delicate juggling act, but 4 men?
Yeah. Well, I feel like they're going to try and phase out Otunga.
Oh, you think that's kind of where they're going with it?
Yeah, which I don't have a problem with. As much as I love David Otunga, but not as no bueno as a broadcaster.
Yeah, there's
just have him go back to wrestling. What the heck? Even as as an on-screen personality, but not as a. I was initially excited, but then I heard him talk on broadcast, and you need to have it. It doesn't take. You can't do it in a day. Take it from me, somebody who tried to do broadcasting once and hasn't been on broadcasting since, but it's been taken over by this glorious SOB Fearon Burgundy at the MFPW.
What do you? Oh, okay. You're talking the commentary. All right. Well, that's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
Plus, you had to do it. Yeah. In that situation back in April, you had to do that solo, and solo is. I mean, commentary in general is not easy. Even more so if you're doing it on your own, and to be thrust into that with no prior experience.
Well, you seem to make it look really easy.
Yeah, but I have prior experience. I have years of broadcast experience under my belt.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got this show.
And that's it.
And that's it, exactly. I've done a litany of different things, DJing and this talk show, and now recently football play-by-play. And is that your tick again?
That was my tick. I'm not rolling my eyes. If I was rolling my eyes, it wouldn't even be at you. It would be like, Jesus. Or as to quote Zandig or Danzig or whatever the guy from CZW is, Jesus! Yeah. Sorry about that.
Indeed.
Yeah, indeed.
All right,
Fearon.
So, yes, as you've noted, we not exactly here at the moment because we're down at the MFPW Arena. We've got the seminar going on with Delirious, and, of course, gearing up for the huge Infusion of Honor.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm referring to it now. As a lot of representatives from Ring of Honor, almost half the roster will be at the MFPW Arena at 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey, for the 5th annual Turkey Slam Rumble to determine the number one contender for the MFPW Heavyweight Championship. Also, Supersonic Champion LSG defends against Mikey Webb, but it's in a 60-minute Iron Man match.
Ooh, 60-minute men. Woo! Had to throw that Ric Flair in there.
Stick to the kiddie ride. Stay away from Space Mountain. Also, the tag team champions,
I will
the
be
Money
sure
and
to.
the Miles, defend against former champions Paid in Full. Plus, an 8-man tag team elimination match as Team the MFPW of Anthony Bennett, the Freak Beast Nick Camarado, the MF Live champion Cody Vance, and a returning Clutch Adams square off with Ring of Honor's Will the Hype Ferreira, Rhett Titus from All Night Express, Cheeseburger, and Delirious.
This is going to be, wow.
It is. Plus, as if that all wasn't enough, the MFPW Heavyweight Champion Damian Martinez defending the title against a mystery opponent. Who could it be? Could it be somebody from Ring of Honor? Oh, let the speculation begin. It all goes down tonight at the MFPW Arena, 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey. Doors open at 6. The action starts at 7. Check out the MFPW and all things Monster Factory on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, plus at monsterfactory.org. And check out past matches, bios, bloopers, and more at the mfnetwork.com. And also coming up in February, just announced another one of the MF Super Camps. Hopefully I'll be healthy for it this time.
Yeah, I'm still aching from the last one. It was it's a good ache, but an ache nonetheless.
Yeah, Bill DeMott's going to be there. Who else was confirmed for that? I know Matt Wichlinski is going to be coming back, the strength and conditioning coach from NXT. Yeah, a bunch more. You can see it all at monsterfactory.org. Anyway, we're coming up to the end of it pretty quick here, so it's time for
birthdays. Whee!
So excited about this, and man, do I have quite a few here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them for you. A 6-pack.
Wow.
Let's crack it
No
open.
challenge, just a 6-pack?
The challenge is working with you on a weekly basis.
Hoyo.
Anyway, on this date in 1937, Mills B. Lane III was born. The former longtime boxing referee turned celebrity after officiating the infamous bite fight between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, as well as working very closely with Stone Cold Steve Austin on MTV's Celebrity Deathmatch back in the late 90s.
Cold Stone.
So I know that since it wasn't directly involved with WWE, that it was a bit of a stretch, but I decided, like Mills Lane would say, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Also on this date in 1954, Rhonda Shear was born. The former television personality and host of USA's Up All Night, as well as guest timekeeper of WrestleMania 10, or at WrestleMania 10, turned 62 today.
Nice.
You were not expecting me to do that.
No, but I got a very uproarious kick out of it. So
I bet you did.
There's that.
On this date in 1967, Glenn Gilberti was born. The former WCW Cruiserweight Champion and 2-time television champion known as Disco Inferno turns 49 today.
Happy birthday, Disco Inferno.
On this date in 1970, Donna Adamo was born. The former ECW pro wrestler and valet known as Elektra turns 46 today. This one you may have to help me out with, although it's been a little bit, and I'll have to edit that out too. On this date in 1978, Lena Yada was born. The former interviewer, valet, and WWE diva during the probably about 10 years ago, the ECW
aggression.
run. She was on ECW as a valet, among other things, but she turns 38 today. I'll have to admit, that was a bit of a dark period for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I bet you do. On this date in 1979, finally, Matthew Lee Capitelli was born. The former WWE Tough Enough 3 winner, whose career ended rather early due to a malignant brain tumor, which thankfully has since been removed, turns 37 today.
Hey, you get back here.
That's going to be our running gag, apparently. And finally, the Brucey bonus. Where will we go? On this date in 1944, Alan Richard Michaels was born. No relation to Sean.
I know that.
The longtime ABC and NBC sportscaster, calling Monday Night Football for the past 20 seasons, as well as noted for the 1980 Miracle on Ice. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! As well as the 1989 World Series game that was interrupted by an earthquake. No, not John Tenta.
Whoopsie.
Al Michaels turning 72 today. So happy birthday all around. That's going to just about do it for us. I want to thank you for tuning in. Next week we will be back in studio. I believe we'll be live, pal. I'm not sure.
We're live, pal. Can we do that again? No, we're live. We're live, pal.
At least I certainly hope so. But we will be back, and for now, stay tuned. Conwell Egan Catholic High School football is coming your way.